granted, formatting the array, formatting the initialization can be a bit of a pain, but when you come back and read it, you will thank yourself so much that you did it, because it's so easy to read and you don't have to go over it all over again. So as you can see here, this is basically the same as this one. All you're doing is putting curly braces around here and around here, okay? And note that for each pair, or for each, row again, you have to separate each row with a comma as well. And then each value inside that row has to be comma separated as well, okay? And just to demonstrate this works, let me go ahead and run this. Okay, it works exactly the same as the other one, as expected. Let me just comment this out. We're going to come on to a final project here, and before we actually go on to it, I'm going to set you the challenge of trying to do it, okay? What we're going to try and make is, let me just come back to this diagram so I can show it easily. We're going to try and make something that does this. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so basically, you can probably start seeing a pattern here. It's kind of like a Sudoku if you think about it. Not quite, but sort of. Whereby each row is in order, and each column is in number order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So go ahead and pause the video now. See if you can try and figure out how you're going to do that. Oh, and just so you know, the challenge is with an 8x8 board. I've called it a chessboard. I'm pretty sure this is how a chessboard works. That's why I said that. If it's not, oh well. But it doesn't really matter what the array is called. So long as you use the same name and all the for loops and stuff, it will work. So pause the video, go ahead and try it out. See if you can work out how you're going to do this. Remember, if you don't understand, if you're having trouble working out how a multi-dimensional array is going to work, imagine yourself inside these for loops, giving these for loops each individual values. Remember when we ran through this one the first time, we were imagining the I was something like 3 and the J was 2. That meant we were at 3 to here. That meant we were at this thing. So imagine how if we're at this thing, how do we make sure that this element is in line with here and in line with here? Okay? That's what you got to think about. So go ahead and pause. And okay. Now I'm going to show you guys how I did it. It's really quite simple. What we first have to declare our chessboard. So declare a multi-dimensional array with 8x8, so 64 elements, and we just jump straight into the for loop. And the for loop is only slightly different to the for loop when we're initializing it here. Okay. It's not j plus 1, it's I plus j plus 1. And again, let's go back to this diagram and imagine ourselves in the middle of the for loop. So, go back down to the for loop. Let's imagine that I is equal to 7, we're going to say we're on the last row, and j is equal to 3. So let's go and find 7, 3 on here. So, oh wait, we can't, of course, this is a 5x5 only. Okay, we're just going to imagine it's still a 5x5. We're going to, doesn't matter that it's only a 5x5 on here, we can still work it out. Okay, let's imagine I is equal to 2, so we're on the third row, and j is equal to 4, so we're on the fifth element. Now, we already know, by default, that this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how do we make sure that this being 2 elements below the 5 is going to be 7, okay? So long as we know that 2 elements below the 5 is 7, this will line up as well, so you don't need to worry about this lining up so much. And let's think about it. We want this to be 2 more than this, okay? So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to say, well, actually, the way I've done it, I'm thinking by row. So actually, we want this, the last element, to be 1, 2, 3, 4 more than this number here. Now, let's think. We're on our I value was equal to, what was it, 2, and our j value was equal to 4. So already, remember, this value has to be 4 more than this, and our j value is equal to 4. So we've already got that number, and it's in a variable, which means it can change, which is what we want. So already we know we can use j in our thing. But how do we get 4 to 7? Basically, we just add the row number. Okay, remember our row is 2, so now we've got 4 plus 2 is equal to 6, and just to make it that from 1 to 5, instead of from 0 to 4, remember we added 1, so all we have to do is add 1. So now, by default, this is I plus j plus 1, so I is 2, j is 4, okay, plus 1 makes 7. So there you go. On here, I plus j plus 1, I is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, okay? With this one, well, let's do this one actually. The I is 1, the j is 2, that's 3, plus 1 is 4. Okay, so you can see this pattern coming along now. And then we're just going to output it. I put tabs in just so it formats so it's easier to read. Okay, and let's take a look at what it yields. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I'm pretty sure you'll trust that it's all the other stuff is in line as well. So there you go. Quick tutorial on multi-dimensional arrays. Actually, probably a very long tutorial by now. And really, what you want to do is just, if you're having a hard time understanding multi-dimensional arrays, use them, okay? Muck around with them. Try and make things with them. Because the more you make things with them, and the more you're successful in making those things, the more you'll understand them, because you understand how they work, because you've been trying to make something with them for, an hour or so, okay? So, muck around with multi-dimensional arrays. Something like this is a very good example of an exercise using multi-dimensional arrays, because we've had to think about the elements and how we're going to make each element correct in its row and in its column and stuff, okay? After this, I've uploaded this tutorial, I'm going to upload something where I made a sort of times table, where, for instance, if this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This down here was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And basically, if we looked at the element 5, 4, we would get the multiple of 5 times 4, which is 20. Okay, so that's another exercise. Why don't you guys give a try at that? So make a times table, again a 64 element multi-dimensional array, so 8 by 8. Anyway guys, this has been a quick tutorial by Asib12, over and out.